Okay, this is day 113. We're going to talk about translations. Okay? Just really quick, I know this class has got it. What are the 4 translations, or transformations? What's the first one?
Translation.
Translation, then?
Rotation.
Reflection, and then?
Rotation.
And then?
Dilation.
Wow, you kids are awesome. Woo!
Yeah, smart.
This is period 3. They got it the first time.
Wink, wink.
Okay. Or do you mean rink, rink? Well, we're not even a minute into this and it's already popping off. Okay, here we go.
Oh, God.
Okay, so we're not going to write all these definitions down, just a quick review. So when we have the original image, it's called the pre-image, okay? It's the original one. So it's the input or given of the figure, and then the image is the output of the transformed figure. So we have the original, and then we got the final. And today we're going to focus on translating it. So we're going to have the original image, and we're going to slide it to where it ends, okay? A vector, okay? A vector is a quantity that has both direction and magnitude. So a good idea for vector, think about like, you know, like an airport has like a control tower, yes? And then there's they have like a little screen that has a picture of all the planes and the directions they're going and how fast they're going. They have a certain vector. And a vector is a quantity that has both direction and magnitude. So let's have you write this definition down right here in your notes, please. Take a moment to do that. Okay, so the next thing, when we think about vectors, or like you think about a plane or like an object moving, there's the initial point, which is the starting point. You don't need to write this down, and then terminal point means where the object ends, okay? So terminal always means end. Initial means beginning. Okay, that's all you need to know on that. You don't have to write those 2 down. Okay? And then component form is the vector form that shows the horizontal change first and the vertical change. And we're going to talk about that. Alright? Here we go. Numbers. Oh, not even numbers 1 and 2. Here are rules, okay? So what were the 4 transformations again? What was the first one when you? Reflection. Then the second one? Translation. Then the third one? Rotation. And then the last one? Dilation. Okay, cool. So we're going to have rules for each of these. So this one, these are a set of rules for just translation. So I would like you to write this box down because you're going to have all 4 someday in your notes, okay? So please write this down. I'll give you a couple minutes to do that. Really only 2 translations you could have. You could take the original image and move it left and right, or you can move it up and down, or you could do both, right? Let's say you're going to move it diagonally. Let's say you're moving it diagonally. You're actually moving it horizontally first and then up to that new position. Does that make sense? So there's only 2 kinds of translations. You only have left and right, which if you look at these 2 rules for left and right, you're just affecting the x value on each of these. You see that? For the y values, when you go up and down, you're affecting the y values, okay? All right, so numbers 1 and 2. Okay, draw the image of the triangle after each translation. So we got triangle ABC here, and then we got this vector here. It's telling us the direction I want the whole image to go. So eyes up here so you can watch right now. Okay, so this vector is telling us, hey, there's an original position. Oh, sorry. Let me go back here. Okay, give me a moment here. Okay, so we got the original image here, and then we got a vector here. This vector looks like a ray. We have a starting point, which is here, and then we have an end point of the vector. And it's telling us, hey, I want you to take the direction of this image, and I want you to go down 2 and over 3, right? This is like our slope, right? So we're going to write -2 over, that's not 3, it's actually 4, down over 4. Okay? Alright, so we have, it's telling our vector to go down, our image to go down 2 and over 4. And doesn't this look like it's going diagonal? Right? But remember what I said about diagonal, it's 2 steps. You have an up and down and left and right step, right? So this is all we're going to do. Check it out. We're going to take point A. We have point A up here. We're going to apply what we talked about. We're going to go down 2 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, and there should be a point here now, and this is going to be called our A prime. Okay? Then we're going to do that for B also. We're going to go down 2 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, and there should be a point right here. This is B prime. So we got A prime and B prime are up. Now we're going to do C. Ready? We're looking at C here. Remember, we're going down 2 and over 1, 2, 3, 4. We should have a point here for C prime. And then we have our triangle that we create. And we have a new image, right? And technically, every point on this triangle is the exact same distance as our original vector. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
And we translated it, right? Even though it looks diagonal, we translated it down and then over to the right. Okay? On number 1, the vector is actually, we could write the vector as, we would write x and y for a vector, and our vector is saying, hey, we want to take the 4, we're going to go right 4 for our x. So we're going to put 4 here, and our vector would be down -2 for y. Okay? Does that make sense, everyone? That's the rule, or the vector. That's number 1. Number 2, we have a triangle. We got a triangle A, B, C, and we got a vector of 3, 2. Eyes up on the screen. So, is there an image on my graph yet?
No, you have to make it.
I have to make the image based upon the points it gives me. So A is -3, -1. So I'm going to go -3 to -1. Plot a point. B is -2, 2. C is 0, -1. Okay? And we got our image, right? This is our pre-image. And then our vector is saying, hey, it's 3, 2. Our vector is 3, 2, meaning that the x value is going to be 3 and the y value we're going to add is 2. Okay, ready? So on each of these, I'm going to take the x value, move it to the right 3, positive 3, and then up 2. Okay, I'm going to use a different color to show you my image. So from A, it says go over 3, 1, 2, 3, and up to 1, 2, and I should have a point right here. So this is going to be my A prime. B is going to be over 3, up 2. There should be a point here, B prime. C over 3, up 2. This is C prime. And then we draw our triangle, and we are done. This is our translated image, right? Is this difficult? Give me a thumbs up if this made sense, thumbs down if you need me to re-explain any of it. Okay, cool. So that's what we're doing today. And this relates to math, right? Because what we're doing is we're taking each coordinate and we're adding or subtracting to it. Does that make sense? Very simple. Question?
So we don't have the AM 2.0 assigned yet?
You still have your old AMs and AM 2.0s.
So like, should we do those?
Not right now. We're going to do a lesson right now.
What, but I'm saying, like, if I get home and I have nothing to do, should I do them?
Yes. I'll talk to you about that after, okay? Alright, so I'd like you to do, today's Wednesday, let's have the threes talk. Threes are teaching the rest of the group about number 2. Just talk about number 2 alone. That's all you got to talk about, and then everyone's writing down number 2. Ready, set, and go. Here we go. Number 3 and 4. Okay, so number 3, we have a triangle X, Y, Z, and we have a vector. Looks a little small. I'll make it a little bigger. So here we go. Look up here. We have 3 points. So what I'd like you to do right now, everyone's making an XY coordinate plane on their paper. Everyone's making an XY coordinate plane on their paper. And then we're going to start number 3. Okay? You're just on number 3, we have 3 points. We have X, which is 0, 3. We have Y, which is -1, 1. And Z, which is -3, 4. Okay? And we have a vector. It's giving us a vector of our vector is 4, -2, okay? So what I'd like you to do right now, and you can work with your groups, I want you to draw the original image on your papers, and then you're going to create the translation. Well, actually, this is your pre-image, and you're going to create your image with using the translation, the vector, okay? Everyone's working on this right now. 2 minutes, we're going to come back together. Okay? Go.
It's a little weird.
Okay, so on this one, we have our point x, 0, 3. We have point y is negative 1, 1. And z is negative 3, 4. And we have, this is our pre-image, right? The vector is telling us to go over 4 to the right and down 2. So on each of these, we're going to go over 4 to the right. So z, I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down 2. You should have a z prime right here. I use green here instead. X, you're going to go over 4 to the right and then down 2. This is your x prime. And then your y prime is over 4. All right? And I count that right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, down 2. Right? That's a good question because that is what the that's what our rule is saying, our vector. Okay? And don't both images look congruent? Yeah. Good. Cool. So that's how we translate it. Now look at number 4. We have 2 images up here. One's a pre-image and one's the translated image. So I'll highlight the image with a green triangle. Okay. Everyone, look at my number 4. Look at the original pre-image and tell me how did it become, or what was the vector for it to move or translate up to here. Okay. Talk to your neighbors about it. I'll give you a few minutes.
Oh, so we have to figure out. Negative 2. So without 2, 3, it goes over. They go up. I mean, not negative 2. It goes over 2. Peanut butter one.
Okay, so we have, what is our rule? What's the vector? 2, 3. Okay, so you're saying we have a vector of 2 to the right and 3 up. Let's see if you're right. Okay, let's look at our A. We're going over 2, up, 1, 2, 3. That's good. B, over 2, up, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's good. C, over 2, up, 1, 2, 3. That's good. So, did we get the right vector?
Yeah.
Good. Now, one more question. Let's just pretend. Ready? Ready? I'm just pretending.
Ready.
Okay, let's say I put a C right here. This was C prime instead. And let's say their image looked like this. Okay? Is it still a translation? Watch. Over 2, up, 1, 2, 3. B, over 2, up, 1, 2, 3. C, over 2, up, 1. Talk to your neighbors and tell them what happened to our new image. Which transformations occurred? Okay, kiddos, so what do y'all think? Dilation definitely happened, right? Didn't it stretch?
Yes.
What else happened to it? Was there still a translation?
Yes.
Yeah, there was. It still shifted. Didn't the position of the image, of the new image, shift to a new place? Or slide to a new place, right? Do y'all see that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there's two transformations that happened here. And that could happen. We could have 2 transformations, a translation and a dilation. But that's not what happened, but I just wanted to talk about that. All right, so that concludes the lesson. I'm going to end it right here because I want you to have time to practice. So if you go into your workbooks, everyone, please go to your workbook and please do page 117.